Hello, and welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League, Season 13, Week 5. We
Yes, hello.
got me, got Randy, got a fun game.
Team ban. Radiant team ban.
It's a good question.
Ten seconds remaining.
There we go. Now that that's out of the way,
5 seconds
finally I'm
remaining.
able to talk again.
Yeah.
QoP Circle's PMA. Now, for those of you who have not been reading chat much in the last couple of days,
Dire team
PMA just went through a pretty extensive reformation.
Yeah,
Swapped out 3 of their positions here, which made planning for this series one hell of an ordeal, because I only knew about this one day prior, and I had to put together a plan with about 24 hours, which I did with no sleep,
Radiant team
because I was very worried about how the series was going to go. No surprises so far for the bans. PMA looking firmly at some just the more successful stat-wise heroes. Looking at the Coddle, looking at the Winter Wyvern. QoP Circles, on the other hand, taking it out on Burst Stream very early here with bans on Bane and Jakiro.
yeah. The Wyvern is just what you ban against Trisoft.
Pretty much, yeah.
You know, Kai Call, obviously.
Right.
Dire team pick.
Lich. First pick Lich is a very strong declaration. Perhaps, though, it is not as strong of a declaration as the pick that's about to ensue.
Dire team pick. Radiant.
Okay, not that one.
Yeah, well, they stole it.
This one. Picking up the Grimstroke here, looking to just deny it from the PMA lineup.
Yeah, but Grim Axe for the Inkswell combo,
10
you would assume.
seconds remaining.
Well, the problem is that you actually kind of don't want the Grimstroke Axe Sinkswell
5
combo.
seconds remaining.
When Axe is calling somebody, his damage does not come from what he's doing to them.
Yeah,
His
it's
damage comes from
coming
spinning.
from being hit, yeah.
So you've either got to have God's own perfectly timed Inkswell to make Grimax work, or you gotta Inkswell somebody else.
Radiant team ban.
And here comes up a Storm Spirit in response. Very interesting pick. I don't know if I'm a big fan of Storm Spirit right into Axe Grim like that.
Storm first phase, EG.
EG. Storm first phase against a call that goes through BKB as well.
10 seconds remaining.
Definitely a very
True,
brave
but
pick.
it's still dodgeable if they have enough faith in the mid player.
Right. Mid player, by the way, is going to be Moon, not Healy's this week.
Yeah. So
Maybe
Moon
I
River
understand.
can dodge things and it can be very good. Just depends on the mechanical skill of the player.
10 seconds.
There is
whether or
also
not this is a big counter to Storm.
Yeah, there is also the Grimstroke ult and the Grimstroke
5
Silence
seconds
as well.
remaining.
Grimstroke Silence, something Storm Spirit wants really nothing to do with. It's gonna hurt his ability to fight much before BKB comes up, as long as Grimstroke's in the area when it's happening, and is not the one immediately getting got on, but if he is, you know, there are still things for that.
Radiant team ban.
No, Razor! We've seen what the Princess Razor can do. No part of that, please.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban.
Juggernaut is banned, which is annoying because that is a hero that I really wanted in this series.
Unfortunate.
Radiant team ban.
The PA is gone. In hindsight, I don't know if the PA is quite so necessary to remove if Juggernaut's out of the pool, but you know how it goes.
Dire
Well, I
team
made
ban.
the downside of putting together draft plans is that if factors change considerably between the time those plans are made and when they get executed, I can't be there to do things
It's
because
true.
we are casting a game when this game is going live. So
Yeah,
it's
you're
hard to
not
do.
PPD, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's
10
hard to deal with
seconds
the
remaining.
little change ups like that. No puck is very interesting.
5 seconds remaining.
Feel like puck would be a very redundant pick with the two that are already on the board right now.
Dire team pick.
No, Pit Lord, that's a pretty good ban. Pretty much no matter what pause one they're going with.
And Pet Lord's super meta again right now. It's
Yeah,
all
no
over
surprise.
DPC.
Unfortunately, QoP circles are about to do something that will upset me very heavily.
10 seconds remaining.
Are you ready for it? Because it's going to
Yeah,
put a big
yeah,
frown
I'm
on my
ready.
face when it happens. What do you pick here, Randy? What
Oh,
position
no.
do you pick here?
Other support is what I'd pick here.
Right?
I don't think you can get away with a support last phase unless you're a wizard,
Right?
to be honest. I'm pretty sure that's the only guy who can do it, and I wouldn't, like, at least lightly flame you for it.
Radiant team pick.
Nope, we're going to pick Wraith King here.
Okay.
The,
Racing against Storm, huh?
if you want to know the insider take on this, the thing that they were thinking at this moment, got a Brewmaster coming up. The thing that they were thinking at this moment, and an Anti-Mage,
Oh
which is
god,
not
Wraith
something.
King. This game got even worse for Wraith King after the other two picks. Alright.
Kai says that Anti-Mage versus Wraith King is a good matchup for Anti-Mage. What do you think of that? Or good matchup for the Wraith King, rather.
Well, it's a good matchup for
10
Anti-Mage, that's for
seconds
sure.
remaining.
Yeah, Kai says it's a good matchup for Wraith
It's-
King. What's your thoughts on that?
5
It's
seconds
awful
remaining.
for Wraith King up until he gets shard, and then it's fine. It's like, it's equal. Except Anti-Mage is a little later, it's the only difference.
Yeah, the if you want the insider take here, they were afraid that Princess was going to get Wraith King and snatched it up, which means that we had two picks in this phase that were basically, oh, we can't let PMA get that. Neither of these
Oh.
two heroes are on the ban list.
I don't understand why they're afraid of Wraith King, though.
No, I don't either, to be honest with you. I think he's just another kind of turn brain off, right click people type hero that Axe does really well against.
Radiant team ban.
And then comes the Lion.
Okay.
Lion is going to have a decent amount to do in this game. It's just a, just a long series of stuns that everybody is going to look out for, and it's one very big nasty attack that Storm Spirit is always going to have on his mind. Nothing
Go on.
Nothing is worse as the Storm Spirit in this game than you fly in, you get turned into a frog immediately, and then you get called and fingered. And even if you have the chance to survive, then you have the spike, the impale.
Yeah.
Radiant team ban.
I think the AM and the Wraith King matchup is an interesting one, because it's like, your first instinct is, oh, it's awful for Wraith King, it's fucking terrible. But then you think about it, it's like, when these two heroes are online,
Dire team
Wraith King will have a shard, right? Like, surely. It would
Presumably.
be crazy for him not to have one. So it's a little more equivalent than you might think. Looking at it, it's not like AM into like Storm or something.
I still do think
AM
that
into Dusa.
10
It's not like that.
I still do think that Anti-Mage does have. Interestingly, they banned out the Earthshaker, even though the Podster is already on the board. And Healy's is pretty much the one person we were thinking about with the Earthshaker. The Anti-Mage there, I will say this much, I do think it is still something that Wraith King doesn't exactly like to have to deal with later on. He's got an answer to the Wraithfire Blast, which is, going to be the main form of stun until he gets an
Yeah,
Abyssal
yeah.
Blade, and Anti-Mage has an answer for that too.
Radiant team pick.
It's,
I'm saying it's not good into it, but it's not like
horrible, yeah.
game-shatteringly horrible. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a situation that Wraith King is going to find more frustrating than unplayable. It will certainly be a frustrating affair. By the way, Visage was on the must-ban list. Shaman was not. I don't know what the deal was there. That was just
This is a must man against
yep.
this team.
Yeah, Dusty is a very prominent,
Oh.
like pretty much the one support Dusty plays to a very significant degree. There is a lot of Visage and a bit of Rubik.
Alright. Always fun.
I would say that Dusty in a support capacity is a lot like the recently dearly departed Tennyson. He has one support that he plays pretty well, and the rest of his pool is kind of there. You really take out a lot of his capabilities if you knock that off of him. Unfortunately, the bands kind of came out a little wrong, to say the least here. Time
Well,
rolling
Visage
out.
can make Wraith King regret his life for BKB.
Choose your hero.
Also somebody who can really mess with the Axe pick here. You know, no matter what happens in the call, the last thing Axe wants is the stupid little Visage Lings to just run over and stun him. And he really does not have an answer to that, ever. Interesting that Princess is not playing the waifu anti-mage.
Yeah, that's true.
Must not have that set.
Princess playing a male hero? Crazy, dude.
Unthinkable. Well, what are we gonna have next? Boss playing a male hero who's not Disruptor?
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
PCH, I wonder what PCH is.
Maybe an MD2L team or something. I don't know.
I like
Some
the,
other D2L team.
I like the spread of clan tags on the PMA. You've got Birthstream and Heelys who have the actual PMA clan tag. You have Princess who has the Mage 1 tournament clan tag.
Princess.
Yeah, the Princess Protection Party clan tag.
Moon River's unaffiliated.
And
Free
Visage. And Heelys, not Heelys, Dusty is still part of the Backdoor Boys.
He's the defending champion.
It's true.
Another defending champion versus defending champion match. We'll just see it.
Now let's just start off this match by calling a spade a spade. PMA has been pretty much a jabroni team in this tournament so far. I think you could agree with that. They have not really found much success, you know, right down to 2 weeks prior to this. Probably the most notable moment for PMA was taking a loss to the Baladeck lineup, being the sole team to earn that distinction so far. But this Princess lineup, with everybody changed up like this, is like way, way worse. It is such a dramatic change. There is one big thing they lose. I don't know about Dusty in 4. I don't think Dusty brings that much to 4. Which is unfortunate for him, because this is just where he has to be.
It doesn't matter as much as their core rules matter.
Right.
Like, if you're making your core rules dramatically better and you lose a little on your 4, it's like, whatever.
I think you lose a lot on your 4. I think that the move from Moon River to Dusty is quite a noticeable difference, but on the other hand, the move from Heelys to Moon at mid is probably going to be a very dramatic one. You know, Moon River is somebody that we were wanting to think about to pick up as a mid, but claimed that they would only be doing that if they were in the friend stack that was presumably happening with Mikkel.
30 seconds to
So that's why Moon River is no longer invited to any of my birthday parties. Are you even trying? Princess still sponsored by Marcy.
First, maybe one day she'll be in captain's mode.
Maybe.
Been fucking months that Hero's in the game.
Months, isn't it pretty close to a year now? QoP Circle's walking away from room phase here with 3.
3-1, yeah.
Pretty good start here. Nothing else too exciting seems to be taking place in this, so this seems like as good a time as any for everybody's favorite segment, the roll call. So starting off, pause 1 for PMA, captain of the team and its namesake, we got Princess on the Anti-Mage. Pause 2, Moon River on the Storm Spirit. Pause 3, Riding Heelys and Escaping Feelies on the Brewmaster. That one was a bit of a surprise. I figured even with the change up there, still going to go probably for big teamfight style gameplay on the Heelys there. Pause 4, Dusty on that Visage. And pause 5, you've got Birthstream on the Lich. Conversely on QoP Circles, another one of the one captains, on pause 1, captain of the team. Combination Bean, she, her, on the Skeleton King. Pause 2, we've got Kai on the Huskar. Pause 3, we've got Crafty Potato on the Axe. Pause 4, Tall Balls on Lion. And finally, pause 5, we've got Trysoft on the Grimstroke. It's a bit of an unfortunate game for Grimstroke. I don't know how much he really does here besides just kind of get in the way of Storm Spirit. You can definitely tell this was a pick that was made to deny the enemy rather than get something for ourselves because, you know,
Unfortunate.
Radiant's top
you
tower
got
is under
the
attack.
double of Finger of Death, and that's, you know, that's pretty good. That's about it, and there's really not
And you have
any
that for like until Lang gets eggs if he's buying eggs. I
Right.
don't know.
and they don't really have any great Inkswell targets. At least not for a very long time. Not until the point
Apparently
where
he will be happy with himself on Dusty here.
First and foremost, my artistry.
First blood going out on the Visage there. Gets eaten by that level 2 Inkswell, so there is that at least. So far, the matchup mid, very sort of, not status quo per se, but sort of a stalemate going on here. Neither side able to take a major advantage. On the other hand, Tallball just kind of walks out of this lane, misses the stun, and then combination
Right.
beam disconnects.
Wait.
Heelys immediately says tack. And then I went too far forward. Earthstream very low there. You have to wonder how, what the chances of survival on Lich were if the stun actually connects. Just a bit unfortunate. The Wraith King and Brewmaster matchup is a bit interesting because Wraith King is one of the few heroes in the game who just has outright, you know, the ability to just completely get rid of the level 6 advantage Brew would usually have. He does have to level reincarnate to get that done.
Yeah.
Skeleton King does, not Combination Being, though Combination Being is playing Skeleton King. I wonder why I'm specifying that. Skeleton King does have to level up Reincarnate at 6. That's something that Skeleton King really doesn't usually want to do, but it is something that is an option in the book.
Usually you go some like 1, 2, 4 build.
Right. But
I
in
think it's
this,
1, 3, 4 actually.
in this specific case, Tallball is just going to get run over here by basically just anti-mage walking him to death.
Early AM kills, you love to see it.
Always like to see this man. Oh, well, Dusty just randomly died at top. I gotta see how this happened, because I'm not really sure. Dusty just gets a little too excited trying to go for a Skeleton King kill there.
Yeah.
Just goes down in kind.
Inkswell is quite nasty.
Very good skill for punishing aggression like this.
Okay.
This is a good
And
call. Goodbye, Anti-Mage.
Disgusting. Axe light.
I don't know why Axe likes the disgusting. Kai denies the water rune. I hate water too.
Who doesn't?
We're all land creatures
The
here.
Huskar doesn't want more HP.
If anything, he wants even less. Axe basically just cutting this wave here, just pulling the radiant wave into this camp and just spinning it to death. Only not a bad strategy against anti-mage, I'll say that much.
I think it is not a good strategy against anti-mage because you can just hit CS under the tower.
On one hand, he can hit CS under the tower, but on the other hand,
You got a full wave there for free. I feel like.
on the other hand, if you are planning to press it, I do think it is possible to at least route him out from under the tower. So it's a good strategy if you've got some follow-up on it. These two can definitely, perhaps not at this exact juncture, not anymore, but the possibility I think was there to get some dives off and at least force rotation or something.
But I'm worth so much more.
Grimstone.
Like creep cutting only works if you're against like some super early pause one or you don't really care is getting like if you're against like a Ricky pause one and you want more farming yourself than to cancel the enemy's farm.
I think I would say broadly it's good if there is a reason that you're doing it. Unfortunately, you didn't see it there. You know, if you're going to have the ability to and carry out like a big dive early game, which I do think they had the ability to, but they didn't seem to have the desire to carry out. If you're going to be able to do that, then very good news.
That's
for
what
you.
I'm saying. Then why cut the wave then if you're not going to do that?
Right.
You just gave AM a free wave.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Good in theory, but it's not right in practice.
Radiant courier has
Axe
been
spins the courier to death. And Lich is looking
Yeah,
very
Lich.
dead here. Yep. Just one spin from a creep beating up Axe's back, and Lich is going down.
Okay, this is a little awkward though.
Yeah, Axe with
Everybody
no
will-
mana is, oh, well that's not good. Let's get an instant replay of this going on here.
Yeah, Bruce is level 6 against a level 4 Wraith King. It's not too good.
Yeah, one of the things I noticed is that, well, Trisoft personally has been able to stay in this lane very well and has been able to stand up to it. Unfortunately, Wraith King is infamously not the world's best laning hero, and pretty much every success that happens in the safe lane comes at the cost of Wraith King just getting down to no HP and having to run all the way back to tower. He's also had to pick up some raindrops here.
Unfortunate. Orb of Corrosion on the AM to kind of put some early pressure on the soft lane.
Notably,
Very
by
nice.
the way, Brewmaster did not actually pop ult to do that.
Dyer's courier has
That
been
just happened
true.
when Trisoft
Just ran
banned
them.
ship.
Radiant's bottom
to try and
tower
get some
is under
support
attack.
going. This tower is getting really low down here bot, if nothing else. The QoP circle's offlane. If nothing else from this, the creep cutting strategy is pretty close to knocking down this T1. So get something
Yeah,
out of it.
they're pressuring the tower, but AM is on parity with the mids for less hits. So I don't know, double-edged sword.
Yep. Again, it depends on exactly how much they can take out of it. That was a really well-timed, that was a really well-timed ink swell, and well, Wraith King did go down for it. Yeah, this is definitely the right move. The second that they see Lich is at top, just kill anti-mage, but unfortunately for them, they are going to have
No
the
mana.
very traditional lot of people coming in. No mana, that's just another, classic situation. You got to keep those supply lines a-running. One notable thing, and it is anti-mage, so there's definitely an understandable reason for that. Axe has been sitting at absolutely no mana through this whole game, basically, and I'll tell you this much. If you're Axe in this situation, Clarities ain't going to do the job for you, because anti-mage is going to knock those off. What you need is you need to get some mangoes, you need to get, stacks of 3 of them, and you need to scarf them down. In a situation like that, you get a call there, it's a kill for sure, and you get a kill there, and that's very good. The fact that so far we've had the...
Isn't interested in the Wraith King actually.
Yes, is
okay,
assuming
well,
Wraith King just
reincarnate.
gets the reincarnate.
Tis mine.
Achilles is going really far for this. Wraith King just stuns nothing. Very unfortunate there.
Oh. Good timing on the ink soul to pop. Achilles
Sure.
just accepts that he's gonna die here, maybe. They rotated
Certainly,
Princess mid.
Certainly has no
Really
ability to do
interesting.
anything about this. Yep, eventually Brewmaster's gonna go down. Crafty Potato has shown up. It's a call out, but without the battle hunger. Where's the battle hunger, bro? You're not gonna have enough mana to cull, so you might as well do that, right? There we go. That's good. No Quelling Blade for Axe, but it is good that even if Wraith King did take a spill up there, he did, you know, Combination Bean did get some kills to follow up. I'm going to be calling Combination Bean he a lot this time because it's Skeleton King, and she's going to get very upset with me after this stream, so apologies in advance. This is not a stream. We got a big stack up here. Randy, can I ask you something?
Yes.
Why are we stacking up
Sure.
this camp when we have a pause one who has no ability to take stacks, basically? And you got the
Wraith King,
skeleton.
I think he does have. He has an okay ability to take it.
It's definitely a very risky proposition once Anti-Mage, and he is getting close, finishes that Battle Fury. I think Anti-Mage is probably closer to being able to realistically take the stacks than Skeleton King is.
Okay.
Uthgar is now
Looking
going to die.
bad. Yeah.
This is why I wanted a sustain hero with the Huskar. Crafty Potato going to come take a look at this, but again, he's just sitting on no mana. Man never has a single drop to his name.
Dire's bottom tower.
It's
Yeah,
definitely
even has the Tumblr's story to kind of try to rectify that problem, but it isn't enough, it seems. Not sure.
right. Definitely needs to invest more in clarities here. That was advertised that this is like a very miserable game start, but aside from Princess starting very strong with the last hits early, and that did come at the very least at the cost of a couple of deaths in the tower here. This isn't that bad. It's definitely PMA favored overall, but just very slightly. This is no
I would
collapse.
say
by
it's
any-
pretty PMA favored, with the AM being this strong already.
Not Brewmaster, the Skeleton King, just going to TP the heck out. There is one thing that is going wrong very consistently for, well, Rip. Tallballs just points at Dusty, and Dusty is eliminated, and then Tallballs is eliminated, and soon...
Nah,
so
Felix
will
is
be
gonna kill both these guys with the split. You like to see that?
Going to go, oh, that's an interesting little bit of pathing there. It's going to make this unnecessarily difficult. And Dusty actually, funnily enough, going to get the revenge kill. I don't know why Axe TP'd here. Axe likely just going to die
He's
now.
definitely here, yeah.
Kai just randomly died somewhere else. And then got tipped for it. And then he battle hungered
There you go.
Massageling and died. Don't do that.
Unfortunate.
I think the play here, if you're the QoP circles, is just to say we're done on this lane. Every time Skeleton King shows up to this lane, at this point, it's feeling more and more like a waste of time. They're just pulling more and more people up here to try and just get rid of this T1. It's not an objective that's worth this many lives. Let them have it.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
There's one thing that's going bad. I don't think Anti-Mage being... Like, if Anti-Mage's Battle Fury was already up and he was already slicing camps, I think it would be like the nightmare scenario. You know, as it stands now, I don't think it's that bad. It's certainly not far enough to deal with. If there is something that is that bad, it's just how little farm that Wraith King has right now.
No.
Axe just called it Massageling and then died
I
anyway.
really hate those words, I guess.
Perhaps there's some like just a lack of familiarity with this particular hero. It is not one you're gonna see every day.
Tower is under attack.
Good sequence there. Losing one to get three, and Wraith King sees all of it. It's definitely something Wraith King needs right now.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Princess is
Dire's
still
bottom tower is under attack.
very casually thrown away here.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Okay.
Dire's middle
Casual
tower is
3-man
under
Visage Sun.
Casual 3-man Lich Ult as well. Is
Yeah, it's
not
actually
going to
causing
dissuade
problems.
Kai, but is going to dissuade everybody else pretty heavily. Tallballs with the stun
Someone's got
again.
him.
Storm Spirit does have him, but I don't know if that's what
Doesn't
Storm
have
wanted.
Dire's bottom tower is under
That is what Anti-Mage wanted, though, and Anti-Mage is going to take it now. Crafty Potatoes are going to try and eliminate Anti-Mage from the rest of this fight. Just turning around. I think Skeleton King wants to take a Reincarnate under this tower.
Good dodge.
Call just barely missing on Anti-Mage.
Just dodged it.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Wraith King's dead here, I'm guessing.
I think
Yeah, he's dead.
I think that was a good general plan from the QoP circles there. Try to get the Reincarnate on Anti-Mage. Well, rip Anti-Mage anyway. Try to get the Reincarnate off on Anti-Mage under the T1 tower there. Just force him to take some shots. Force him to take the call. But the timing just did not come that well together for them. Got a bit of blocking each other going on here.
Kind of a messy fight, yeah.
Brewmaster is just straight up out of there. Nobody on this lineup is particularly fast at the moment. That might have been an ill-conceived go.
Essentially.
That might have been an ill-conceived go. One thing that I did not know when I was assembling this team was that Kai was not a
Dire's
particularly
bottom
experienced
tower has been
Huskar.
denied.
I had thought that he had been practicing it, but the answer was no. And that is on me. I should have actually looked up the stats rather than making an assumption, in fairness.
Sure, you
Brewmaster
know what
picks up
assuming
the
does.
Dire's top tower
Yep.
is under attack.
I think he's posted a screenshot in the server before of Huskar games, but I might be thinking of something or somebody else. I don't know. Robo and Fake Grenade coming out. It's very notable here that at this point, the Wraith King is in a very unenviable position, having almost less net worth than the support line here.
Yeah, and also getting 18-minute armlet.
Right. There is one thing that I think is going to be decisive on that. It is just how long it's taking the Wraith King to become even the most modest threat. I like how we're silencing the Visage Bird.
Yeah, at this rate,
Eh,
I think this Wraith King will be a threat at about 45 minutes,
yeah.
give or take.
And I think that in a very good way kind of goes to show you the dramatic effects that your pos 5 choice can have in lane, because Grimstroke, all about offense, which meant that Grimstroke was great about actually getting kills on the Brew and Visage lane, but unfortunately, you know, Wraith King just could not survive the amount of offense that was coming out of it. The Visage pick in particular is a major shame for QoP Circle so far. Bonk.
Okay.
It's a major shame for QoP Circle so far that that one was able to get through, because that's
Oh
a
no.
very
Princess is
good
here.
counter to Axe. And you can kind of see it in these fights, you know. Axe just having to hold off on calls in these fights, having to position them perfectly, and just having to always think about those Visage Birds. I do kind of
They
have to
killed
wonder.
her. Why are they not happy?
Yeah. I do kind of have to wonder a little bit how much things change on a Visage
Dire's
ban.
structures
Well, Dusty is, you know, I don't think anybody is going to say that Dusty is the pos 4 of the league. Nobody's going to say he's a bad Visage to
Radiant's top tower
any
is under
degree.
attack.
He's certainly showing it here. 13 A's, and it's hard to count with A's how many kills you basically denied to the enemy team. I like that, the counter spell on the Huskar jump.
Radiant's top tower has
Means a lot less to Huskar than it does to Anti-Mage, or that at least Axe tries to call the Masagelings. Starts to yell at them. Does ultimately call them, but there is one positive thing that Axe has in this interaction. It is that he is able to control the Visagelings whenever they're away from their master to a significant degree. This is a potentially very strong silence. But the Wraithfire Blast just gets cancelled last second, and they're just completely unable to get him.
You ran into fog there, I'm assuming. Unfortunate.
Yep. I know I've had that open for so long. Got a whole barrel full of last here.
Oh, the Lich ult. Almost.
Brewmaster is gonna die before his ult gets off. It's a good Lich ult, but so far it doesn't seem like it's been doing very much.
Yeah, because Snowballs led it away from the fight. I think they were all dead if he didn't do that.
It's another very annoying skill for the Visage Birds to deal with.
Dire's bottom tower.
And it's also fun just seeing a Visage Bird just get silenced in such dramatic fashion to boot. It's not quite as funny as, like, Fiends gripping the bird, but you know.
That would be funny, yeah.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Achilles.
Good start to a fight here for PMA.
Yeah, that's a super good start to a fight. Kai's just dead.
Yep, just died pretty much instantly.
Will crumble around him.
Grim at least doesn't go down before the ult comes out, but
that's the most casual 5 for no I've seen this year, I think. That actually looked effortless.
Yeah, the ability to knock Kai out at the beginning of the fight there. To get rid of Kai and Grim, we're really, you know, the Huskar and the Grim, we're really pretty much the main forces on this team right now. Just at the beginning of the fight like that, just definitely makes them disaster. One thing about the particular lineup that the QoP circles have going on here is that without some sort of sustain type hero in that pause 5 role, without some sort of heal based hero, it really does mean if Huskar or Axe get caught in a particularly nasty situation, they pretty much just die instantly.
I just don't think Wraith King should be fighting right now.
Well, definitely not now.
5th lowest net worth. I don't know. Where are you fighting?
Just gonna at least get a look at, well, what would have been a pretty clean kill on the Storm Spirit if Dusty hadn't gotten in the way. Pretty much would it. This Visage legitimately is just such a big problem. I wish they had listened to my suggestion to ban it.
Again, what do they get out of that fight that
Support.
the Wraith King had to be a part of? Not much. And it's not time that he spent farming. So that kind of pushes back the spike another 5 minutes.
I think at this point it's almost just like a real politic approach. I think they've just determined at this point that Wraith King is never going to be online and just have him as a walk-in stun, basically. Well, this ain't good.
Right, but then how do you upskill the aim?
I think you just don't. I think you just basically count on Huskar to turn it around, and it's not really a very realistic objective. Gonna show up and get put into the tornado here. A good call on the rear illusions there. To make things just a little bit more annoying for Heelys to end this. barely misses out the call. I'm not really sure why that call didn't connect, to be honest with you. Lion's gonna buy back.
Fortunate.
Just not quite in time. Oh, but that is good. They are gonna take the Aegis out. They're gonna lose the 3 and under club in its entirety to do so. They are gonna take the Aegis out.
Yeah. So there's that, I guess.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen.
Brewmaster will now beat up a catapult for its crimes. You can definitely see a bit of a disconnect in the team strategy here. Kai is just basically trying to hoover up all the easy farm on the map, and Combination Bean is going really deep and taking all the risky objectives.
Bounty.
I think sometimes Kai's pause 1 pedigree comes out a bit in games like this. Sometimes he's just a bit overeager to just hoover up the easy farm. Storm Spirit gonna go out looking for something to do there. Just, oh, the silence just 1 second too late!
What a split. Just completely dumpsters that attempt.
Right. If the silence comes out just a second sooner.
Healy's, what are you doing? Oh god. Alright, it's working somehow.
Told you a storm was coming.
Okay, maybe not so much.
Anti-Mage is also just gonna go the long way.
Oh god. Yeah. Unfortunate.
Dire's middle barracks.
Rack's going down.
Dire's middle barracks.
Very casually, yes.
Did I feel a crick in my joint?
Tower's going down to
Dire's
follow.
top tower has fallen. Dire's top barracks are
It's very
under
difficult to see any realistic way PMA loses this at this juncture. See what Gabe says. Ouch.
Yeah, I mean,
Radiant's bottom tower
what can you
is
do?
under attack.
You lost early game to an anti-mage lineup.
Enchanted Quiver dropped here. Your very favorite jungle item.
That's good. Let's think about, is there anyone good on that team to have it? Not really. Unless you
Where
want
are the
to do like some funny storm tricks with it. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess.
Overload plus Quiver, is that good?
Yeah, I guess hypothetically it's not too bad. Just gives the first shot with Overload a
Dire's
pretty
bottom
nasty
tower is
punch.
under attack.
Something else, Crowd Circle doing a very good job. Literally every time the Visagelings show up, they
Oh my
immediately get hit.
god, the black hole basically.
AoE Vortex coming out. That's the
It was
AoE
a lot this week.
AoE Vortex debut. But
It is. Didn't go well.
yeah.
Okay, AM's destroying people.
Oh
It
no.
might be better than expected.
That is actually very sad. Wraith King has no
Okay.
shard. That is actually very sad if the disarm was saved just a second longer for when Anti-Mage pulls up to that fight. Because the Manta for Anti-Mage already down when he blinks into the cores there. The disarm is saved just 1 second longer there than the hell is this?
Look for a triple.
Dire's top
Is that
barracks
QoP?
under attack.
MS Bank Wop?
Dire's top barracks has fallen.
I mean, one man survives, and it's Princess.
Gonna take out another Rax here with the Visagelings.
I guess it's 1.5 with the Dusty Birds still being alive. Princess will back up, recognizing the Axe Lion Grim combo. They can probably still kill him.
Yeah, one thing about Axe that's very good in a situation like this, even if this game is a bit unwinnable, is no matter what happens, Anti-Mage is always going to be a little mortal. Like, if Anti-Mage gets hit in the call and the Blade Mail comes up, Anti-Mage is just going to kill himself in just a second flat. Picks up a butterfly. Moonriver's Null Talismans, by the way, recently rolled over.
Yep. That's what you do on Storm now.
Double damage spotted at top lane, and never mind. No, it's a haste rip, but
Haste is for the dead.
Crafty Potato does not want to fall into enemy hands, just snatches that right up and gets the hell out.
Bring some.
Okay, this could be either interesting or disastrous. Let's see.
Well, Anti-Mage
Oh
kind of
my-
caught it here. AoE
Okay.
Vortex just hits a couple of people here.
This is extremely brave from Princess.
Last time we saw this
It's
exact
working out.
encounter, well, Bean stunned herself. Last time we saw this exact encounter,
Yeah.
this went disastrous. Like this go went disastrously for them, but this time everything just changed very dramatically.
That's it.
Combination Bean calls the GG, and that's the ball game. Well, this is how should I put this? This is a good display of what happens when I think you drive too much of your pick lineup around what you think the enemy team was doing. The Grim and the Wraith King were almost liabilities this game. Wraith King, like, Grim did well in lane, and that's great, but the problem is that Grim did well in lane pretty much at the cost of completely sacking Wraith King's entire games. That's not good. The just played it very aggressively, which, you know, in most cases is going to be very good. Against the lineup that I think was not very well, you know, set up to deal with the Grimstroke in that offlane, which is good. But, like I said at the start of the game, what does that really matter when Wraith King is running away from every fight at 3 HP, has no sustain, and is not getting any, you know? Just has no ability to stay in the lane, and that really just screwed them over here. I thought the offlane went better than it looked. I think there were some mistakes, like, you know, just funneling creeps into Anti-Mage's mouth without doing something to follow it up. Probably wasn't good, but that happened once, and at the very least, ultimately they like took the tower. They went fairly even for kills, and it's
Didn't contest the CS at all. That's kind of the issue. I mean,
Right.
he was on parity and even beating like the mids.
The thing is, it's like if your Wraith King is doing good, I think that doesn't matter that much. If your Wraith King is
Well,
doing
that's a
good,
big if.
I
You
mean,
know, if I had wheels, I'd be a wagon.
if Wraith King is doing good, I don't think that matters that much. Because at any point in the game, like I mentioned fairly late in there, Anti-Mage is always going to be mortal compared to Axe, right? Right? Like one call on the Anti-Mage that that has some realistic follow-up to it, and Anti-Mage is gone. Really doesn't
True,
matter
yes.
if he has a, you know, a decent early game lead. And like I said, I don't think it was like substantial enough it couldn't be countered. The biggest issue was that they couldn't put the genie back in the bottle with invading the jungle because the 3 and under club on PMA was doing such a great job of keeping them basically contained, fighting Nen. Like, it was, like, most of this game was like 3v5s, Brew Visage and Lich versus the 5 of the QoP circles, while, you know, even Storm Spirit could just choose what battles to take, what battles not to do so. I do think, in the fights there was an overcommitment to Brew. I think they feared the Brew too much. Even very early on, because it's like, early on, when you have that first Brewmaster ult, that's very big because, you know, it's going to be usually, not if you're against a Skeleton King traditionally, but it's going to be, you know, a very good kill on like one person, but you put the first level Brewmaster ult in a teamfight context, it's really more going to be just to save his own life, but they were kind of treating that as the biggest thing to worry about on this lineup. They were treating it like a Sand King ult, they were treating it like a Mars Arena, something like that, right? You know, And it kind of became a self-fulfilling prophecy in the end, as ultimately the fact that they were paying so much attention to Brewmaster early on did just because you're not really going to kill him. It's not really a realistic objective. He was able to just survive through a lot of fights, just get a lot of casual assist money, just by virtue of having the Ember Bear burn people. And he was able to make himself a threat because so much attention was paid to him. I don't think I don't think the Lich, unfortunately for Burstream, I don't think the Lich had much impact in this game. There were a couple of good Chain Frost, but it seemed like Lich at any given point until like really the game had already been decided was behind enough that like the Chain Frost would come out, get maximum bounces, and everybody would be still standing there at like 3/4 health, right? Um, the Huskar play in fights was good, but I feel like uh, Kai really just still has yet to master exactly how much Huskar can take before he goes down. And it was just kind of picking some fights early on, like at mid when he just casually ulted the Visage, kind of taking some fights early on where he goes in and he gets the ult off, and then he just kind of immediately gets vortexed or lich gazed and just kind of dies, right? So ultimately, though, I think really at the end of the day, it just kind of goes back to this. This lineup was kind of drafted with the idea that A, Visage was not going to be in the game, and B, when Axe gets the call, that there's going to be follow-up damage from somebody else to really take advantage of that. And the tragedy of the great tragedy of the situation is, even if Wraith King is super ballin', even if Wraith King isn't behind, he is not a great hero to follow up on something like that. He's a great hero to follow up on like a Fiend's Grip, but he's not really got any good ability to follow up on a call unless he's building all around that, which is just not going to be what you want to do or will see on a Wraith King very traditionally. So yeah, the trying to snatch up the picks to try and deny PMA, I think it just kind of denied them the game here.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
I mean, I'm not sure the AM looked out of control at a time when no hero on QoP circles really, aside from Kai, looked even threatening.
The problem is that like I said, there's no if Axe gets the call, there's no time Anti-Mage is ever out of control basically. I think it's actually one of the worst heroes into Axe just because there really is just not at any point a great solution to it. You're not tanky, so you're never going to be unless you get like a you know 12 or 13 level advantage over him, like even more than this 10 level advantage that we see here. Unless you get a massive advantage over him, you're probably not going to get to the point where you're just going to out-tank the X like he calls you and then he dies, right? And you're just going to be like, you're a glass cannon. You're going to be just beating yourself to death on the spins and the blade mail, right? So there's
true, but it didn't come to pass here.
Yeah, it didn't come to pass because of that Visage. So, I guess the moral of the story is, please take every piece of the plan I give you into account. Thank you. See you next game.